check out our contest page and see how you can win a pair of tickets to the Minnesota Golf Show, February 21st through the 23rd at the Minneapolis Convention Center. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest to enter for your chance to win.
Hey, it's Progrum Password here on the Fan. And on a very snowy Tennessee, I don't know if I'm going to get there for the fights now. I mean, we'll probably walk in right when the first bell rings. But nonetheless, snow is falling. Program Password, it's the halfway point. It's myself and Audra Martin against Lil B and Amy Hockert. And where do we stand, Tennessee, as we head into the second half?
Yeah, you, the common man, and Audra Martin lead 44-22 over Lil B and Amy Hockert. As always, you can watch Program Password at KFAN.com/watch. Are you guys ready for the second half?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, Common and Amy, I need you two to take a look at the iPad, please. The password is shock. All right, make sure you flip that upside down the other way, Amy.
I'm so sorry. I
didn't take a break and I just all... Yeah, I forgot. Okay.
I know for you two to win this game, you probably do have to cheat a little bit.
Wow. Whoa. Rude.
Amy, you're down.
I'm going to go.
You're down 22 points.
Going.
You got the... you want to go first. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a clarifying question, though, about what I can say or do.
You're going to have to... You're going to have to come in here quick and ask me.
No, I don't want to waste time. Okay. All right.
Okay. All right, Amy and Lil B for 10.
Surprise. Party.
Common and Audra for 9.
Aw.
Excitement.
Amy and Lil B for 8.
Electrocute. Shock. I didn't know if I could go. Surprise.
Yeah,
I can
you
go
can make facial expressions. You can't do this. You can't.
Don't fling your arms around. Put your parts away.
Anything with your face you can do.
Yeah, put your nipple parts
and
away.
Voice. Yeah. Okay, good to know.
All right, 44-30, Common and Audra with the lead, but Lil B and Amy Hockert are hanging around. Lil B and Audra, take a look at the iPad. The password is tell. All right, Lil B, you're down 14 points. You can make it a one-possession game here. The option is yours. What do you want to do?
First.
All right, to get this within 4 points, Lil B and Amy for 10.
Show. Time.
Audra and Common for 9.
Speak.
Tell. I thought you had it. That was showtime.
Good job.
That was a good clue, though.
Really
show.
good.
I didn't think about show.
All right, 53-30, Common and Audra with the lead. Common and Amy Hockert. Take a look at the iPad. The password is farmer. That's the wrong one. Next one, please.
There
you go. There you go. All right. Amy, you're down 23 points. You have the option here. Would you like to go first or second?
I'm going to go second.
All right. Common and Audra for 10.
Tiller.
Plow.
Amy and Lil B for 9.
Occupation. Driver.
Common and Audra for 8.
Tractor.
Farmer.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a 3. That was a 3.
And you grew up on farm.
I mean, occupation.
It's over for me.
No, I thought that was a great clue.
All right, Common and Audra, you're 19 points away from a win. You lead 61-30. Lil B and Audra, take a look at the iPad. The password is rubber.
You and I both probably thought of this.
Lil B, you're down 31 points. The option is yours. You want to go first or second?
First. She has zero faith in me, by the way. I can feel it. I'm so sorry.
Lil B and Amy for 10.
Tire.
Rubber?
Yes.
Whoa. I thought it was going to be wheel.
We might be back. We needed it.
Get your head out of the gutter, by the way, Lil B and
Get your
Audra.
head out of the gutter.
Tell me
What?
you wouldn't have gotten
Also,
it on
I
the
can't.
first.
I was surprised when you went first. I was expecting a different clue to be given.
Yeah, so did I.
I thought about it.
61-40. Common and Audra still have the lead. Common and Amy, iPad, please. The password is button. We're on Amy. Amy, you're down 21.
Yeah, I'm just going to go for it.
Oh, wow.
I'm just going.
You sound confident. Amy
Well,
and Lil B for 10.
Benjamin.
Franklin.
Common and Audra for 9.
Zipper.
Button.
Wow.
Okay, I had to take a shot.
I had to take a shot.
Audra, you're really good at this game.
Thanks.
You've had multiple
Except for
times and you
last
got
time.
enough of their clues. Very impressive.
Thank you.
Here's where
Trying
we're
to
at.
redeem myself from last time.
Common and Audra, you're at 70 points. So if you get a 10-pointer, you win. Anything less than that, you'll still be going on. We'll keep the game going. Lil B and Audra, you are 30 back at 40. So it's 70-40. Lil B and Audra, take a look at the iPad. The password is worm. All right, Lil B, down 30 points. Option is on you. First or second?
Hello.
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 Sorry, I didn't hit the button.
Hello.
I didn't hit the button. I'm sorry.
Hello.
I'll just re-say what I just said. Lil B, you're down 30 points. The option is on you. You want to go first or second?
Well, I'm going to go first so they can't win.
Okay. Lil B and Amy for 10.
Centipede. Insect.
Audra and Common for 9.
Slimy.
Worm.
I should have said bait. What's the more proper word for a worm that I can't think of right now? There's an actual word for it.
Is there?
Yes.
Like the scientific.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. This is the wrong crowd to ask that question.
Sorry, Daddy.
All right, here's where we're at. Common and Audra, you're at 79. You're 1 point shy of victory. So any correct answer, you win. Lil B and Amy are still at 40.
Still in it.
Common and Amy, take a look at the iPad. The password is whistle. Actually, just do that one. Yeah, just leave that one up. They skipped one on us, but we'll just go to do that one.
We'll do that one.
Yeah, the word I had said was a different word. I'm going to say it differently for the people that are listening on the radio.
very
Hold on.
good.
Okay.
The password is lawnmower. All right. Amy, you're down 39 points. You are going to have the option the rest of the way.
Yeah.
What's your choice here? You want to go first or
I don't
second?
think they're going to get it on the first, so I'm just going to risk it and say second.
All right. Common and Audra for 10 and the win.
Toro.
Amy and Lil B for 9.
Grass.
Lawnmower?
Wow.
See, that could have been snow blower. I maybe would have guessed that, you know?
I didn't know what else to
Yeah.
call
I
it.
couldn't even think about what their company
Lawnmower is
brand
one
was,
word?
Yeah.
Apparently.
All right.
All right. They're still alive. Lil B and Amy Hawker. They're at 49 now. Common and Audra at 79. Any correct answer for them, and they win. Lil B and Audra. Take a look at the iPad. The password is trust. All right, Lil B. Going to have the option the rest of the way. You're down 30. What do you want to do here? First or second?
First.
All right, Lil B and Amy for 10.
Fund.
Money.
Audra and Common for 9 in the win.
Bank.
Pay.
Lil B and Amy for 8.
Believe.
Audra and Common for 7 in the win.
Faith.
Interest. No, that's wrong. Why would I say that?
Lil B and Amy for 6.
Rich.
Charity. No.
Yeah, just so you know, you can as long as you start it before that buzzer ends, you can keep going. So we'll count it if you get it correct. So don't stop what you're saying. Where are we at? Audra and Common for 5 in the win.
Fund.
Trust.
Yes.
They win.
Damn it.
Ball game.
It wasn't my best game today.
You know,
I didn't have it today.
It was me.
Audra was on fire.
Yeah, she's
You
pretty
guys,
good
that
today.
was amazing.
Thank you.
Who knew?
I didn't have it.
You know what it is? It was your women's intuition.
That's exactly what it
That's
is.
exactly what happened.
I could make a women's underwear joke right now, but I won't.
All right.
Hey, that was fun, though.
Good job,
Thanks,
guys.
Both of you guys have so much fun when playing, and that's what we like when we enjoy ourselves. So
Thanks
so
for
much
having
for
us.
playing. You bet.
Yeah.
Audra Martin and Amy Hockert. Lil B, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
We'll take a short break. We'll come back. Tenneby's got a keyword for us.
Yes, the fan wants to give you a shot to put $1,000 in your hand with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword credit at KFAN.com now for a shot of winning. The keyword is credit. Enter now at KFAN.com.
If you're a woman and you have $428, go buy yourself a pair of $428 jeans. And then go down here to the cowboy restaurant, WT's on a Friday night. Plop those suckers up there on the stool, and the wolves will come howling at your door, mama. I'm telling you, the more money you spend on clothes, the better you look. Are you going out to tip the light fandango and have a couple of cocktails? That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard all day, and I've been up since 7:30. The 5-iron might as well be a pitchfork. I wasn't really listening. I was just waiting to talk. You had me at go back to the drugstore. You are what you wear, except for meat sauce. Oh, it's a plus. Incredible.
Hey, it's the Dark Star Memorial Hour. I have one Dark Star Memorial for you today from my friend Scott at Second Swing. Scott writes, on January 11th of 2023, our Second Swing family lost a great teammate and a wonderful person. Mike Ollie Oliver was taken from us way too soon. It's hard to believe that today would have been his 62nd birthday. I miss him every day. His stories, positive attitude, and dedication to growing the game of golf were an inspiration to all of us. Please take a moment to remember Ollie and his family the next time you're out there on the course. Thank you. Scott says thank you. Signed Scott, and we thank him for sending that Dark Star Memorial. Tenant B, the NBA trade deadline came and went. I think it was sometime last week. The most talked about trade was Doncic goes from Dallas to the LA Lakers for street clothes. And there were, several others involved, but those were the main ones. There was many other trades, or several other trades. That was the one that got the most headlines. I don't know if we really know how that's really going yet. Doncic hasn't really gotten in any kind of a flow. And a matter of fact, I think he missed the first game that, after he got with the club. Street clothes, I think, was hurt in the first game he played. The one trade that's not getting as much attention as I think it probably should, and the one I heartily endorse for the Golden State Warriors, is paying big dividends. Here's the headline. Warriors head into NBA All-Star break on a high note as Jimmy Butler is already paying big dividends. I'm going to start calling him the Big Dividend. That's going to be my nickname for him. The Big Dividend.
My bad.
The Golden State Warriors, I thought you were going to pay something like big dividend.
I went to hit the rip shot.
Oh, I thought you were going to find some big dividend. Isn't that a great?
Big dividend.
The Big Dividend. The Big Dividend says the Golden State Warriors were a desperate team before they traded for Jimmy, the Big Dividend Butler. And they're still a desperate team after the trade. That's why Steph Curry and Draymond Green played Thursday night in Houston when the team didn't arrive until 4 a.m. for the second half of a back-to-back after a hard-fought loss in Dallas. And if you'll remember, we brought Steve Kerr. Can you find the Kerr audio anywhere? I mean, I have it on my phone. I could hold it up there. Steve Kerr about complaining that you start us at 8:45, and then we don't get in till early in the morning, and guys can't get rest, and we're going to strap it on our backs. And remember now, they went from Dallas to Houston. You could walk there. You could leave as soon as the game is over, and you could walk to Houston by game time. Anyway, the strategy paid off. The Warriors, after having their 24-point lead trimmed to 2, held off the Rockets to head into the All-Star break, having gone 3-1 with buckets, who's already paying huge dividends in the lineup. Steve Kerr talked about how much the team and he needs this upcoming break. With the momentum they've created since the Butler deal, they can come out physically and mentally fresh for what will be a wild 27-game sprint to the finish in the Western Conference, which is packed together like a can of sardines. The Warriors have benefited from the schedule since Butler arrived. They played the Bulls, who stink, then got the Bucks without Antetokounmpo, and the Rockets, who were also on a back-to-back. They were a possession away from a 4-0 start with Butler, but Kyrie Irving was too much in Dallas, and frankly, the Warriors played miserably in that game. I saw the plus-minus for buckets. His average points and rebounds and assists per game are eye-opening already, and his plus-minus is off the charts. And I know, I get why, especially here locally, there are those that feel as though Jimmy Buckets sabotaged the team, that Jimmy Buckets was a disruption in the locker room, which I guess you could say that. That he was the reason that the team wasn't able to achieve the things that everyone had hoped for when they had pretty good roster. Tibbs was the coach. You had Butler and you had Big Meow, etc. But again, the world of sports is filled with.
I got the Kerr audio for you.
Here's Stevie Kerr. This was he was very disappointed that they had to turn around and play right away. Here's what he said.
This was obviously kind of a fatiguing game, late tip. You're flying tonight. I mean, can you go with all your veterans tomorrow?
I don't know. We'll talk to Rick after. So it's a tough back-to-back, and that's why that's what makes this loss even more frustrating. Is that we're going to get into Houston at 3:00, whatever it is, because, the NBA and its infinite wisdom makes us play an 8:45 game, and they clearly don't care about, rest or player health. It's just ratings and all that stuff, so I get it. So everyone's got to do it. The whole league's got to do it.
Right, that's correct, Steve.
And so it is what it is. We got to strap it up and get ready for tomorrow.
Got to strap it up, almost like we go from the Battle of the Bulge to the Battle of Pork Chop Hill. Now we just don't stop. It's World War II, man. It's like honestly, and you've heard, Bill Guerin. We had that quote from Guerin when he talked about, look, we fly first class, 5-star hotels, etc. And it's like, it's a very short flight, and if they got in, let's say he said 3, but it sounds like they got in about 4:30. Okay, so you get in at 4:30, you're probably at the hotel by 6, right? Sleep in. Don't do a shoot around. You don't need a shoot around. Get the guys in. If it's rest you want to, they can sleep a good 8 hours. It's 2:00 in the afternoon, right? 2 or 3. Game time is what? Following night's going to be a 7:30 game in Houston. Usually they start at 7:30, I think, in Houston. Or Dallas, so it would be, I don't know, is it a 6:00 start? I mean, again, we can all talk about being inconvenienced. I'll give you an example. Last night, Deuce flew in. I'm about to say something controversial.
That's interesting.
Deuce flew in United on a flight that went from Omaha to Chicago, 2-hour layover, and then into Minneapolis.
Yeah.
It was scheduled to land at 11:07. It was delayed 12:17. So I get to the airport in line, waiting for Deuce. He gets there about 12:30 after getting off the plane. Get in the car, get home. Go right to bed. Probably fall asleep about 1:30. My lovely wife, Potato, she gets up to go to work at about 6:30. I wish her happy Valentine's Day. She does the same. And then she leaves. And then it's like, I can't get back to sleep.
Yeah.
Just can't. I can't get back to sleep. I tried, tossed and turned. We had to get a bird. We had to get to Men's Warehouse. I guarantee it, because we had to get Deuce's tuxedo for the fights tonight. So there wasn't much to sleep in anyways. And but guess what? Here I am doing my show. Didn't complain about it. It's the way it is.
Performed admirably.
Thank you very much.
You're winning.
Yeah. Well, especially did you see how well I did in Program Password? That's one of my better performances in a long time. And much of the credit has to go to Audra. She was
great. Yeah. But you were very good too.
But we were making beautiful music together. We were quite a team. I would say it's Stockton Malone. Could you use that? Shaq and Kobe. Pippen Jordan. That's good too. Thanks, Deuce. There's a lot of different combinations you could make.
Ant and Cat.
Butler and Steph. And so it's like, well, okay. I was going on 5. Plus the pressure of knowing that I've got Program Password coming up. I got an entire radio station on my back. What are you laughing about over there? And then,
Just you.
And then up to, got to drive in this. I didn't know there was a snowstorm going to Hinckley. I mean, we were hoping to get there about 4:30, get settled in, get into the tuxedos, take some notes, find out who the fighters are, any last second changes, get some records, find out who the judges and the referee for each fight is, because they rotate that around. You got the card?
I got the judges and the referee assignments.
Okay, very good. He's more efficient than I am, because Deuce is going to be. It's like, we're going to go up there. We're going to drive through the snowstorm, probably pull up, I don't know, half hour before the first bout, and we'll get it done, and we're not going to complain about it. There's no reason to.
No excuses.
No. You do
and
it.
Your situation will be more challenging than the Golden State Warriors' challenge.
Well, exactly right, because I'm going to have to be behind the wheel driving in a snowstorm, white knuckling it.
Their flight is 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Yes, just incredible. We'll pause. We'll return. We got one more segment to go. Deuce will join us along with Tennessee and Common here in the Fan.
Comedy sensation Daniel Tosh is bringing his hilarious stand-up show to the Twin Cities. Don't miss your chance to see him live at his newly added second show on June 20th at the State Theater. Tickets are going fast. Get the full details now at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
What's the Tosh kid's first name?
Daniel.
He's adding shows. Meat Sauce and I are canceling.
He's not a pioneer of comedy like Meat Sauce is, though.
Well, that's it, yeah. That's how our comedy career is. Where our comedy careers are headed. A couple of quick text messages, the Bradshaw Brian KFAN text line. I don't know if these two text messages were directed towards me or Steve Kerr. One says, boo-hoo. The other says, cry me a river. I wasn't complaining. I was making the comparison that it doesn't bother me. I'm not complaining. It's a day in the life. It's just the way it goes sometimes. Would I like to have, Deuce's plane had landed at 7 p.m., back home by 8:30. I'm asleep by 10. Get a good full 8 hours. Yeah, I loved it, but it just didn't work out. Though I'm not complaining. I was talking about how Kerr is complaining. These guys are all, and he says, they're more worried about the ratings. Well, yeah, that's why you all get paid millions and millions of dollars a year. I mean, and not just, these guys aren't just signing like 5-year, $25 million contracts. The best players are signing 5 years, $300 million or whatever it is. Or even more. So Now, if you were directing them at me, this is not a complaint. I was using it as a comparison about how he's complaining about having to start a basketball game at 8:45, work less than I do. Basketball game takes about 2.5 hours. And by the way, they get to sit on the bench and get pulled out and get a breather. Now, I'm here the entire 3 hours. 10 to be, and I don't leave. We're here. That's just where we're at.
It's true.
Well, you can't argue with it.
You don't go anywhere. The show's noon to 3.
Yeah, that's it.
I would have liked to skip my 3 classes on Thursday, but no. I go to my classes and I take whatever flight's available.
And that's what you did.
That's what I do.
And, you also said, this is what he says to me. He goes, well, if I do a direct flight, Delta, it's going to cost a lot more. So he was trying to save his old man a little money, too. That's how we
It's the least he could do after the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's how we roll. And so, no, there was no complaining. It's just the way it is. I mean, do I have to recant all the other tales? I mean, I've told about flying over to Scotland, traveling, how many different time zones is that? Then get off the plane, you drive from Glasgow to St. Andrews, run over to the golf course, grab the clubs. He goes, go play with those guys, run out there, birdie the first hole, and shoot 79.
That's about 7 or 8 hours difference.
Yeah. No, I didn't complain about jet lag or circadian rhythms or body clock or any of that, time zone, elevation change.
You let the clubs rip.
Yeah, you know what you do? You know what you do? You play with the hand you're dealt.
It's true.
And you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And there was another one that came in. Common, you're really judging General Soreness based off of 4 good games. He's a fantastic player when he actually tries, but that just isn't often enough. He will wear out his welcome in Golden State just like he has everywhere else. Well, that might be true, but we're not worried. I don't think anybody in Golden State is worried about wearing out his welcome.
3 years from now.
Yeah. They're worried about, they felt like Steph, I'm sure, and Draymond are both at the point where we're probably at the end of the end. We have our 4 ships, but we're not as good as we used to be, and we're missing our other splash brother. And but before because they're both aging. How old is Steph now? He's got to be mid-30s.
I think he's like 36.
And I think Draymond Green's got to be at least as old. So these guys are thinking, well, this might be our last.
Curry's 36.
Okay.
He's actually turning 37 here in a month.
Okay. They're probably thinking this is our last best chance to make one last run at a title, but we can't do it with the roster.
Draymond's 34.
Yeah. We can't do it with the roster we have. So they go out and apparently they didn't want Durantula, but they didn't get Durantula. And so then they got Jimmy Buckets. And he says when Jimmy tries, well, yeah, there are times where, look, Jimmy's not perfect. But he's a gamer. That's what I like, and he gives it everything he's got when it means something. And play in Miami, and I play for Pat Riley, the Miami Heat. Jimmy's in the same position. How old is Jimmy now? 37. Jimmy's never won an NBA title. He ain't winning one Miami. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to win a championship. He didn't want to be like Chuck.
He's 35.
Think about Barkley. Barkley's never won a world championship and never will. Right? He's done so. So, those guys, that's something that Chuck did everything else. He's a terrific basketball player. I think he's ranked in the top 50 all-time NBA list or whatever it was. He's, the world is his oyster as a analyst, on TNT. And he's got all other things. He's got so many different things going on in endorsement. This is a great life, but I guarantee he wishes he had a world championship. So I'll take my chances. I'll take Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
If I'll put it this way, if there's a game I got to win, I'll take Jimmy Butler on my team every time. So, now here's something else I saw. This is a CBS Sports story. Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown sends challenge to Eagles.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Wants to face Super Bowl champs on opening night.
Oh my gosh.
What are you doing there? Deuce, get off and stay off.
I think you'd better be worried about beating another NFC East team that dropped about 45 points on us in the NFC divisional round. And look, if we had a healthy defense, we would have made the Super Bowl. I'm very you know what? Laugh all you will, but
that could be PST, isn't it?
How about you get off and stay off? With Hutch and all of our other guys that got hurt, if they were all healthy, we would have made it. We would have. It's a fact.
He just calls him Hutch. What, you got a good vibe with him or something like that?
Yeah, I got a pretty good vibe with him. You know, he was vibing real well with the rest of the defense up until he broke his fibula or tibula? I don't know what it is, but he busted that up. Our defense we'd be in the Super Bowl. But I think that it's a little bit premature to say, well, we want the Eagles now. How about we focus on stopping the very talented rookie Jaden Davis?
Here's what St. Brown said on his podcast with brothers Equinemius and Osiris. This is what he said. Eagles have the home opener next year because they won the Super Bowl. Can I read you the list of teams that could be in that first game? Commanders, Cowboys, Giants, Bears, Lions, Raiders, Rams, Broncos. Out of all those teams, if you're the NFL, who are you putting in that game? That's why I'm saying. So we might be playing opening night. You could see what our healthy defense, how that bleep operates. And, you know, I caught a lot of heat from a lot of listeners when I kept, you know, bringing up the fact Detroit's decimated defense. And people were, you know, they were getting sick and tired of hearing it. But this story even what am I trying to say? It's even more eye-opening to how badly Detroit's defense was beat up. Here's what this says. Lions did have plenty of injuries on their defense last season as they started 30 players last year, tied for the most by any NFL team on one side of the ball since the 1970 merger. And people thought I was exaggerating it.
Yep.
That it was like, well, you know, calm down now. You're just making your excuse computering it. Well, it's just the facts. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to Deuce and say today would have been the day. You know, Philadelphia had their parade today.
Yeah, they did.
Deuce is basically saying they would have been doing that in the Motor City. I guess it's possible. I'm not so sure of that.
I'm not even necessarily saying they would have won. I'm just saying a deep postseason run, it would have happened.
Now he's backing off a little bit. Now before
Very Rosen-like there.
I think it was moments ago he said they were going to win 3 in a row.
Yeah.
3 big games in a row, and now all of a sudden he doesn't even think we can get out of it.
They might not win the big one, but they would have made it there for sure.
They allowed 32.5 points per game and 7.4 yards per play in December, the most yards per play allowed by any team in December in the big game era.
Ugh.
And yet they still won like 3 or 4 of those games playing with a
borderline practice squad kind of defense.
Exactly.
Picking guys up off the scrap heap. It was like when, Dad, we reenacted this in the basement when we were watching that final Lions-Vikings game. You know, when GM guy calls and goes, bring, 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 and you, the player, you know, you go, hello?
Hello?
And I go, hey, Cole, you, see, it's been a while since you played, but have you been staying in shape? You've been training?
I've been throwing the ball in the yard with my boys.
Right. So, you know, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the league, but this the defense over here in Detroit, we've been getting real beat up. And could you be on the next plane to Detroit?
You paying for the flight?
Yeah, we'll comp your flight. We'll get you a nice place to stay. Do you think you could be here for the walkthrough on Wednesday?
Well, you think Henry Ford could send his private jet? That'd make it easier.
Let's
not get carried away.
We'll cut you a deal. We'll throw you on a first class flight.
All right. Well, you know, I think I can be there. I mean, do I have to know the playbook?
If you can read, that's the only requirement. Can you read the playbook? Son?
I don't think I can. Now you're supposed to say you don't need a playbook. Just go out and make tackles.
Just go out and run after the guy
and make plays
and bring him to the ground.
And that's what they did. That's what they did all summer. So we'll see how what happens if. And again, that's no guarantee that next year everybody will be healthy. I mean, they might be week 1. But then
odds are they're not going to be that beat up.
You would not think. That's exactly right.
I mean, the health gods usually come back around.
And so
they're due for a healthy season.
They are due for a healthy season. You mentioned
but that'll be when Jared Goff goes out.
Yeah.
And then it'll be Teddy time.
Well, have you been following this story at all, either one of you? Why are the Rams talking about getting rid of Matty Stafford? Is it all money related? Has anybody looked into that story? Because it's all about like, well, he's not going to play there anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
No, he's been in trade rumors. Cooper Kupp's definitely in trade. I mean, they've told him.
I've heard about Kupp being in rumors, but I haven't heard anything about.
Well, Kupp's not even in rumors. He's come out and said it himself.
He's personally.
It's not even a rumor anymore.
He just said, I'm gone. I'm out of here.
Yeah. He said they're trying to trade him. Doesn't mean I guess they will trade him, but he's just financially Cooper. When you got Puka Nacua and you're gonna have to pay him, and he is, immensely younger and at this stage of his career more talented than Cooper.
Kupp's a little past his prime.
They're not. Yeah, they've been up against cap for quite some time.
Right. I don't know about Matty Ice.
I'd take him in Detroit right now.
Do you think they're just like they just have a belief that they'll sell high on these guys, right? Like,
well, that could be it.
He might only have a year left, 2 years left. Might as well restart the rebuilding process while we can. I'm sure McVay thinks he can mold any quarterback talent to be good.
Stafford did just turn 37 1 week ago. He's 37. He's up there. He's on his.
Maybe they want to trade him so they can get Darnold. Maybe they want to sign Darnold.
Well, that could very well be. But I'm not. I like Goff. I think he's really good. I think he's Cousins-like, but I think he's a little grittier than Cousins. And he's a little bit more mobile than Cousins. I think he's better than Cousins, but that same style of guy where things got to kind of be
in the same range.
Right. It's got to be.
He needs some help. He needs some players around him.
Right, exactly. And they all do, some more than others. That's why, Stafford, and again, I know he's not perfect either, but I still think he's got plenty left. I think. But maybe the reason, like you say, is just because sell high. It's like when the Kitties did trade Stafford, they got Goff, and did they get 2 1s?
Yes.
So, and I don't know if you're not going to get that kind of a haul for Stafford now. I don't believe, but unless there's a team out there that thinks we're a quarterback away, I don't know.
I think LA just went so long without having draft picks because they kept trading them away for win now players. And then this last draft, they got some good defensive players like Jared Verse. Like, maybe we should try this whole draft thing out. Let's trade Stafford and get some more draft picks.
During your Wild today,
yes,
you were talking because the Wild are out for the 2 weeks for the what is the tournament called again?
Four Nations Faceoff.
Four Nations Faceoff, and it's the United States,
USA, Canada, Sweden, and Finland. So they're all NHL players.
Okay, and I guess I wasn't really listening when you were talking. Where are we at?
Well, so all 4 teams have played one game. The Americans played Finland last night. They won that game 6-1. Now, it was pretty close for a long time. I mean, it was 1-1 late into the second period. That's when Boldy scored that on the deflection from Brock Faber, which ended up being the game-winning goal. And then, U.S. was up 2-1. They had a power play to start the third period. They scored 2 goals in the first 30 seconds of the third period, and it was basically ball game at that point. Put a couple more later on the third. So they scored 4 goals in the third. They ended up winning 6-1. Of the 4 teams, Finland is the least talented. Now, international play, they usually do pretty well just because they grew up in a very good defensive structured type of culture.
Okay.
So they usually play good team defense. But they just don't have the talent, the scoring punch that U.S., Canada, and Sweden has. So tomorrow they're calling, I believe, rivalry day. So Sweden plays Finland tomorrow. They're big rivals. And then USA plays Canada, their biggest rivals, tomorrow night.
Where's that game being played, United States and Canada?
I don't know if they're going. I think it's still I don't know if it's still in Montreal or if they're going to Boston. I know they're splitting the tournament in Boston, Montreal and Boston.
Because I hear both teams would have to pay a tariff, 25% tariff if they go across the border.
Well, that's the thing. There's been the Canadian crowds keep booing the U.S. flag during the national anthem. So now the players are getting asked about it, and it's getting controversial. And
a lot of people are booing.
A lot
of people are booing. Nobody's ever seen anything
like 51st state.
Nobody's ever seen anything like it. As Columbus sails across the Gulf of America.
But USA is, they are pretty darn good. For the longest time, it was Canada was far and above everyone, and Russia, and we've been trying to play catch up, and they still have first-line talent in Canada that's hard to match, but, man, this depth of the U.S. team. The both Kachuk boys last night, the brothers, they were both unbelievable last night. Brady scored twice. Matthew scored twice. And they are just a good combination of, skill and grit and smarts. Like, they can score in multiple different types of ways. And, U.S. got a lot of those, the Boldy goal was a deflection. Matthew Tkachuk had one where he deflected, it hits the goalie, gets the rebound. Brady had a really sweet goal on a great passing play between, I believe it was Gensel and Jack Eichel on that in the neutral zone. But USA is pretty good. So it should be a fun one tomorrow night.
I saw a Four Nations tournament. It's pretty good. It ain't bad. But you know what's happening tonight down in Lincoln, old timer?
Let me guess.
The Lincoln Stars, the number 1 Lincoln Stars in the West, take on the number 2 Sioux Falls Stampede in the Icebox.
Two teams that don't like each other very much.
They don't like each other very much.
And
you
they're
know
at
what?
the Icebox?
They're at the Icebox.
You turned down operating the in-game scoreboard camera to be here for fight night?
It was be Lincoln Stars moving camera jumbotron guy or be Grand Casino Friday Night Fights ring announcer guy. So it was tough. It came down to a coin flip.
Yeah.
But here I am. But
How far is Sioux Falls from Lincoln?
Like three and a half hours.
It's still a decent ways. Okay.
Yeah, still a ways. And then tomorrow night, after they play in the Icebox, they play each other in the Denny Sanford Premier Center.
No,
Yeah.
Denny Sanford.
They call it a home and home.
Well, that's exactly what they call it.
It's gonna be big.
Didn't you say there's like a team in Youngstown, Ohio? Too?
Yeah, the Youngstown Fandoms.
It's about a 4-day drive. What do you think Stevie Kerr would think about that? They take a bus. How far is it? Literally, it's like 11 or 12 hours. Isn't it?
I think it might be closer to like 13 or 14, a couple 13, 14 hours to Youngstown. They hop on a bus on Thursday, drive, and then halfway through they post up at some random ice rink to get some ice time in. Keep driving on Thursday, stop in a hotel, drive on Friday, and then show up at the rink on Friday and play the game. Go to sleep, Saturday game, drive back that night.
How many fans show up to the Lincoln games? What seating capacity? How many people show up?
We just recently had our first sellout since 2019, and we had about 4,300 people in the Icebox. It was
impressive.
It was a great crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was like $3 beer night, and it was buy one. it was buy one get one. So I got to think that there were
something to do.
Some ulterior.
You're
motives.
drawing more than a lot of college teams.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. The Stars games are amazing, especially it was Omaha, so a lot of Omaha fans coming down to watch their terrible team.
We call it the I-80 rivalry, is what we call it.
It doesn't get any bigger. There's Packers, Bears. There's Iowa State, Michigan. Ohio State, Michigan.
We're the school up north. You should know it by now. We're going to get in the car in a lot of uncomfortable silence, but I'm going to have to deal with it. We're leaving for Hinckley. Thanks for coming in. Tenby, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. We enjoyed our visit with you. Big tickets out. We'll be back on Monday at 12 noon. Big tickets out. It's JG and Kara. They're next here on The Fan.
Good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.